churning. Come on.
Oh, by the
Okay,
way,
we're good. You're all set.
happy birthday, Arnie.
Oh, thank you, Joel. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Happy
that.
birthday, Arnie.
Happy birthday.
39 today.
Out of the bag now. Okay. Thank you and welcome everybody to the July 16th, 2020 meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission. I will open this evening with a roll call. Mr. Urice,
Here,
Ms. Hofstadter,
Here,
Mr. Kyokyo is absent, Mr. Sylvain,
Here.
Mr. Renz is absent, Mr. Haas is absent, and Chairman Finaldi is here. So we do not have to seat any alternates for this particular meeting. Just very briefly, my standard intro with regard to Zoom meetings is getting a little repetitive, but I'll try to do it in brief form. A reminder, this meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission is being held on Zoom as a virtual meeting. Even though the meeting is a virtual meeting, members of the public and interested parties continue to have the opportunity to participate in the meeting in a couple of different ways. You can participate via Zoom to see the audio and the video, if any, or you can call in by phone and participate via audio only. Just a heads up, if anybody calls in, we may have to mute and unmute your phone to avoid an echo. Instructions on how to participate in the meeting appear on the City of Danbury website, and all of the documents and materials that apply to the matters to be discussed during the meeting also appear on the city's website. A copy of the agenda is also on the website. We follow the agenda as per our standard practice. If prior to the meeting, any questions or comments were submitted to Sharon, those comments will be read during the appropriate portion of the meeting. We have no public hearing, so I can skip that portion of my intro. And also a couple of other things. All votes will be conducted via a roll call vote. And finally, please remember that technology is still new to us. Glitches do sometimes occur. Please be patient if that happens. Okay, we'll move right to our agenda. We've already done the roll call. Committee members, the minutes of the June 17th meeting were distributed via email prior to the meeting. Unless there's any comments or corrections, I will entertain a motion to accept those minutes.
so moved.
seconded.
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes of the June 17th meeting. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The June
Oh,
17th.
no, roll call. Right?
Oh, Ellen, thank you so much. Good catch. Okay. A yes vote is to accept the minutes. A no vote is to not accept the minutes. Mr. Urice?
Yes,
Ms. Hofstadter?
I'm sorry, except, oh, we're doing roll call. Yes, I'm sorry, I got distracted. for a second. Sorry, yes.
Mr. Sylvain?
Yes.
And Chairman Finaldi votes yes. The minutes are accepted. Good catch, Helen. Thank you. For the record, commission members, rather, the next meeting is scheduled for August 5th, 2020. We have no public hearings this evening, no continuation of public hearings, and no old business for discussion and possible action. So we will move right to the first referral. It is an A3A referral, petition of Sugar Hollow Land Development LLC to amend sections 6A2B and 6A5 of the zoning regulations, add sale, rental, and repair of autos and trucks to the IL40 zone as a special exception use. The Zoning Commission public hearing for this matter is scheduled for July 28, 2020. And again, this date is subject to change depending on circumstances related to COVID. The information for this particular referral did appear on the city website. Hopefully, commission members, everyone had an opportunity to review it. And with that, I will turn it over to Sharon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Sharon Felitro, I'm the Director of Planning for the city. The Zoning Commission received a petition to add the following use as a special exception use in the IL40 zone, and that is the sale, rental, and/or repair of automobiles and trucks. I'm not going to read through the purpose that was indicated in the petition. That's in the staff report. I'm just going to jump really to the comments. I did provide you, as I like to do, with the purpose and intent of the district, so we all can focus on what we're talking about here. The IL40 district is our light industrial district, and the uses in the district are of a limited and light industrial nature. In 2007, we did some amendments to the industrial district regulations to be sure the uses were consistent, and we haven't done many changes since that time. There are 27 permitted uses now and 17 special exception uses. So the repair of automobiles and trucks is already a permitted use in the IL40 zone. So adding that as another, and I'll talk about that in a second, but adding that aspect of this use in another category, I think is confusing and unnecessary and repetitive, actually. So the sale of rental and or repair of automobiles and trucks is a permitted use in the CA80 and CG20 zones. As I said before, this IL40 allows you to repair but not sell. In terms of the petitioner, because I always think we need to put this in perspective, who they are. The petitioner owns property at the corner of Sugar Hollow Road and Myrie Brook Road. As you know, there are several new car dealers on Sugar Hollow Road. Those new car dealers are located in the CG20 zone. The IL40 zone separates the petitioner's property from the properties on which there are existing new car dealers, and the city's property is IL40, and that's the airport runway. So we're not in, favorable to any kind of zone change because the airport needs to stay in the IL40 zone. In terms of the state of Connecticut, the K7 licenses, they're in that hierarchy, excuse me. So if you have a license to sell, you can repair, but if you have a license to repair, you can't automatically sell. So that's an important distinction. So in terms of this petition and in terms of what is allowed already in the IL40 zone. So as I said, the petition seeks to add as a special exception use with one special use regulation, the sale, rental, and or repair of automobiles and trucks into the IL40 zone. Again, portions of it are duplicative. We also think that we have some concerns with the language in the special use regulation and just the way it's worded. It indicates facilities for the sale, rental, or repair of automobiles and trucks shall be located on the same street as and within 1,000 feet of a facility at which new automobiles and trucks are sold or rented. So our issue with same street, what does that really mean? Like, does the driveway have to be on the same street? The address have to be the same street? Because in the case of the petitioner, he has a corner lot, and I've explained that. And in addition, there's no indication on how you measure. And we all know from issues associated with package stores, as an example, that unless you're very clear about how to measure, it's open to interpretation, and there's some concern about that. And we also raised some concerns of whether or not there should be other specific use regulations associated with the sale of automobiles in an IL40 zone. And I've indicated that, whether it should be on municipal water or sewer, whether it should be limited to an arterial or collector street, because again, this is a zoning amendment, and if a site complies and it doesn't need to meet a lot of additional use regulations, it could move forward. In terms of the plan of conservation and development, I think we all recognize that there are times when it's appropriate to amend the regs for changing conditions and to consider new development practices. It's questionable, as I've indicated, on whether adding a use that's not really an industrial use to the industrial zone, kind of in a broad swap, and whether or not that kind of further diminishes the industrial nature of the zone. And again, if this amendment were to be approved and the petitioner submitted for a special exception, that industrial zone at the corner would not be an industrial use. And the plan of conservation and development map shows that as mixed light industry and office and transportation. So basically with that, that's kind of the sum of my 3 pages. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions or comments, commission members at this time?
Mr. Chairman.
Joel, go ahead.
My initial cut on this request is, this is not the first time we've seen a request to add retail to an industrial zone or to IL-40 specifically. And I think we've, in the past, frowned upon that kind of addition. And this is just another attempt to get retail into a non-retail zone. And you know, a lot of time and work went into the development of the plan of conservation and development so that we would not have inappropriate overlaps in different zones. So this not only, if we're approved, not only would it be a departure from the purpose of IL-40, it would open the gates, if you will, for other retail uses to be put into IL-40. I mean, if car sales, why not clothes sales? I mean, it could has an endless possibility of change requests, but this request is for retail sales in a non-retail zone, and I oppose it.
Thank you, Joel. Well stated. And commission members, would anyone else like to make a comment at this time? Helen?
I agree. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, sure.
I agree with what Joel just stated. You know, it should be noted, as Sharon did in her report, that just trying to implement this, if it were to go into place, you know, the language just does not, it does not help in terms of clarifying exactly how it should be implemented. So I agree with what he said, that we don't want to mix uses again some more and degrade the industrial zone further. And I think it's poorly stated and described in any event, and we should consider it too vague to be implemented properly.
Thank you, Helen. Anyone else? Perry, any comments or thoughts?
Oh, that's it. They covered it, I think.
Yeah, and I'll just quickly add that I agree with Joel's comments. I'm not comfortable with a positive recommendation. You know, specifically, as Sharon pointed out, duplicative language. There was some concern over the term same street, which Sharon pointed out, which I thought was valid. No defined method of measurement. That has caused problems for us in the past. And then, as everyone else said, the introduction of retail into an IL-40 zone is something we should think very carefully about. So I agree with the findings of the report, and I agree with the comments made by the other commission members. So with that, I'll entertain a motion for a positive or a negative referral to the zoning commission.
Joel, you're on mute.
Sorry. Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
I'd like to
Joel.
make a motion for a negative referral to the zoning commission based on the inappropriateness of retail sales in a non-retail area, and for all of the reasons stated in the staff report.
Motion made. Do
Whatever.
second from Helen. All right, motion made and seconded for a negative recommendation. So here we go. I'm going to take a roll call vote. Now remember, a yes is for a negative recommendation. A no is not for a negative recommendation. I know it's a little funny. So again, yes is for a negative recommendation. Mr. Urice,
Yes.
Ms. Hofstetter,
Yes.
Mr. Sylvain,
Yes.
and the chair, Mr. Finaldi votes yes. So there's 4 yeses and no nos. This matter will go to the planning commission, I'm sorry, the zoning commission with a negative referral. So thank you for that. Let's go right to item 2 under referrals. This is an 824 referral July City Council Agenda Item 3, donation of open space, land 15 Augusta Drive, K1152, and Newtown Road, L11039. And again, committee members, the information that pertains to this referral was previously distributed. And I believe, Jen, are you going to handle this one?
I am.
Please.
Okay, Mr. Chairman. You have my staff report before you.
There's an echo.
There is an echo.
Yeah.
You have my
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
think we're good now, Jen.
Sorry,
Okay.
Joe, I had to mute
Yeah.
her.
Okay, so as I indicated in my staff report, we have a request from council for consideration donation of 2 parcels of land. The property owner is Melvin J. Powers and Mary P. Land for the purposes of open space preservation. Both parcels are in the kind of the Augusta Drive, Newtown Road area. I've included 2 maps. The first parcel is 15 Augusta Drive. It's actually located, it's a pretty big piece, 7 acres. It's in the IG 80 zone. It's wooded, it's got wetlands, and it's a landlocked piece. It's located behind Badukian. They have two buildings over there, so it's directly behind that. Plan of Conservation and Development, the land development map identifies this parcel as wetlands, so preserving it for natural resources would be a benefit. The second parcel is the Newtown Road parcel. It doesn't have an address attached to it. That's why it says Newtown Road. That parcel is 1.82 acres in size. It's in the CL10 district. And this actually abuts the Lime Kiln Brook, and it's just just south of the convergence of the Still River and the Lime Kiln Brook. It's to the left of, if you're in front of Dunkin' Donuts, it's to the left of that, right between the bridge, and it wraps around, so it's behind Taco Bell and Dunkin' Donuts. The entire parcel's wetlands. It's in the floodway. Preservation of this parcel is key to managing flood levels in that area. Staff has no objection, provided that City Council and Corporation Council work out the terms and conditions, including easement agreements, to ensure that the city has access to both parcels, because the Augusta Drive parcel is landlocked and the Newtown Road parcel doesn't have driveway access because the bridge guardrail goes right along the frontage.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yep, any questions?
Questions for Jen? Seems pretty straightforward. I know, Jen, you don't have any problem with a positive referral, assuming we can get those easements, and we've got to have access to the piece. We have to have that. But
Yes.
sure, that's good. So good. Anybody else have comment? Any questions, comments? Anybody?
Just a comment, glad to see us preserving the land, especially near a recreational source like the Still River Greenway, and the kayak launch, I think, is right there across the river from this piece of land, so.
It is, and that whole back piece behind the Courtyard Marriott is under a conservation restriction that allows for the Greenway to exist. This would, across that point, it's just, I don't know if it'd be east. The Still River goes behind, and then the Lime Kiln comes down. It kind of cuts and converges. So access would be across the river, but certainly something that could be accomplished with further study.
Thanks, Jen. Commission members, unless there's any other comments or questions, I'll entertain a motion for a positive referral.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion for a positive referral, subject to obtaining the proper easements and other normal Ts and Cs that Corporation Council would require.
Perry with second?
Motion made and seconded for a positive referral. Any comments? Hearing none, we'll take another roll call vote. Again, a yes is for a positive referral, a no is not for a positive referral. Mr. Urice,
Yes,
Ms. Hostetter,
Yes.
Mr. Sylvain,
Yes.
Chairman Finaldi votes yes. This matter gets a positive, this 824 referral gets a positive recommendation. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Under new business, looking at our agenda, you'll see 3 items, commission members that are coming up in the future for our August 5th meeting. Take a look at those. Feel free to call Sharon or Jennifer with questions. There's also something under for reference only. And unless I'm missing something, that is our meeting for this evening. So unless there's any other comments or questions, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nice quick meeting. I'm going to have my birthday party now. I'm going to go, so I'll take care.
Bye, Arnie.
Enjoy your cake.